Grade 6 Section Mahogany. By the way, I am Teacher Daisy and I am your teacher for this school year. But before anything else, let us all stand up for our prayer. Okay, kindly lead the prayer. Okay, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen. So thank you once again. Good morning. Okay, but before you sit down, can we pick up some pieces of papers and plastics under your chairs and table? And clean the top of your table also. Okay, if you are done, you may now take your seats. Okay, let's have the attendance first. Okay, if your name is called, you say, I'm here. Okay? Okay. Avancenia, Himaya, I'm here. Ubas, Unabia, Vergara. Wow! You have the perfect attendance. For that, I'll give you 20 points. So you have the bonus from me. So give yourself a wall clap. This is how you do it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow! Wow. Okay, let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow! Very good. You may now take your seats. Okay, I have a classroom rules and I want you to take down for you to follow. First, if someone is talking here in front or your classmates is talking or have her or his answer, you have to listen, pay attention, and show respect. Okay? Okay. The second is, if you want to answer, just raise your hand. Okay? Okay. The third one, if I'm going to raise my hand like this, it means you have to keep quiet. Okay, every time we are in the classroom, if I raise this, it means you have to keep quiet. Okay? And the fourth one, you have to follow the first, second, third, and fourth rules. Is that all clear? Okay, that's it. So you have to take down notes about that. Okay, thank you. So since you already feel bored there, I prepare something for you to energize. And I want you to watch this video I presented to you. Then you have to take down note the details or the information because I have a surprise for you. Okay? Okay, let's watch this.
What is she saying? You are not taking part in the competition?
I don't think I can make it.
But you have been practicing for a whole month, dear. And you play so well. I have never heard anyone play guitar as good as you do.
You think so?
I know so. Let me tell you a story of a boy, Jack, who did what nobody thought he could do. Once there were two boys, Jack and Louis, who lived in a village near Oldenburg. Jack was 6 years old, while Louis was 10. They were very close friends and spent most of their time together.
Since we already done watching the video I presented to you, this is my surprise to you. Okay, what have you observed the video I presented? Okay, there are people, there are characters. Yes, they're having conversation. Yes, I'll give you a clue. Okay. 2 words. The first word start with letter D, and the second word start with letter N. What do you think our topic for today? Yes, Abasenia. Yes, it's direct method. Yes, very good. So, class, let's give Abasenia a wow clap. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wow! Okay, you will now take your seat, Abasenia. Okay, you have your oral recitation for today. Okay, the learning outcomes.
First direct method aims to build a direct relation between experience and language, word and idea, thoughts and expression. The second, this method intends for students to learn how to communicate in the target language. The third one, this method is based on the assumption that the learners should experience the new language in the same way as he experienced his mother tongue.
Okay, class, since we already know that our topic for today is all about direct method, let's have the background check of direct method. Let's answer the WH questions. First, who? One of its main proponents was the German Maximilian Berlitz, developed a school in the form of Berlitz International that exists to this day. Next is where? It was established in Germany and France. When? Around 1900s or 19th century. What? Direct method is also known as a natural method, phonetical method, anti-grammatical method, and reform method. The older name of this method is grammar translation method, which teaches students grammar and vocabulary through direct translation and thus focuses on the written language. Why? In a way, students and teachers are partners in the learning process. On the other hand, the student's role is less passive than in grammar translation method. Next is how. Direct method. By relatively having much use of instruments like video, film, radio cassette, tape recorder, and other media instruments that can made by the teachers. So this method can attract the students' interest. For example, the video that I presented a while ago. Let us define what is direct method. Okay, direct method comes from the fact the action like demonstration and visual aids to convey the meaning directly with the target language. So they highlighted here action like demonstration and visual aids needed to convey. Okay, since you already know about what is direct method, I will call on Teacher Joy to continue the discussion about the 7 basic principles in direct method.
After knowing the overview of direct method of teaching language, it is also important to know its basic principles. And these are the following principles. The first principle is direct relation between thoughts and words. Using this method, a learner will be able to speak using the same medium of communication, which allows them to have an emphasis on the language used. The second principle is speaking or oral practice. In this method, the teacher and the learner are involved in the process in which there are raising of questions and answers, exclusively in the classroom setup. The third principle is functional grammar. This method does not put emphasis on theoretical grammar, meaning to say it focuses the way language is put together so that the meaning is communicated for particular purposes and looks at a language as a system of meaning. Fourth principle is no use of mother tongue. There is a complete prohibition in the use of mother tongue. Therefore, the main focus of the learner is to learn the foreign language, which is English, as the medium of communication. The fifth principle is concrete vocabulary. This method advocates the use of concrete vocabulary of words so that the students will not get confused of the following terms that is being used in the sentence construction. The sixth principle is sentence as the unit of speech. In this method, the unit of speech is speaking, in which there is an emphasis on speaking the complete sentence effectively. The last principle is grammar is taught inductively. In this method, the teacher introduces the context of language and allows the learners to figure out the rules for themselves through interaction in a way that the learners create and develop their own understanding of the rules of language. And these are the 7 principles of direct method of teaching language.
Those are the basic principles in direct method. Okay, thank you. Next, let's move on to strategies for teaching using direct method. First, question and answer exercise. The teacher asks students using target language and students answer in a full sentences. For example, where do you live? Instead of saying Karkar City, the students will answer, I live in Karkar City. Yes, that's it. That's it. It's full sentence. So the students will able to create their own sentence. The next is reading aloud. Students read sections of passages, plays, or dialogues out loud. Okay. The fourth page. Then, the next day, Laura was sure that Ma would not let her go to play in the creek. It was roaring, but more softly than the day before. In the dugout, she could hear it calling him. Third, dictation. The teacher reads passage aloud various amount of times at various tempos, students writing down what they hear. For example, okay class, food to keep you healthy. So can we get your notebook and list all the important details? That's all the information needed. Because after that, we will have a short quiz. Okay? Okay. Banana. Advantage: potassium. Low in calories and fat. The banana is a perfect example of a flavorful food that is exceptionally good for you. It contains a number of minerals, notably potassium. Fourth one, student self-correct. Teacher facilitates opportunities for students to self-correct using follow-up questions or tune and etc. For example, the main proponents of direct method is Jerome Bruner. No. Yes. International Berlitz. Yes, it's Maximilian Berlitz. Okay. The fifth, paragraph writing. Students write paragraphs in their own understanding using the target language. So why do students use the target language? Yes, for example, I have to write a paragraph. Okay. I live with my mom, an older sister, and a younger sister. I'm the middle kid, and there's just not enough room for a middle. I love my family so much. That is why I always siding of my family. Yay! The sixth, conversation practice. Teacher asks students and students ask students questions using the target language. For example, have you ever joined a talent contest? Well, once when I was younger. Really? Did you win? Well, no, I was not talented enough. I stood on stage like a robot. You mean you were nervous? I was so nervous. I did not feel comfortable at all the whole time. What category did you join? Singing, what else? I discovered I didn't have a genuine talent in singing. Lord, don't be so cruel to yourself. I know, but I will never forget that experience. Even though you have experienced that, you should not give up. Maybe you can say that, then maybe because I'm already tired of doing that again. Next is number 7. Fill in the blank exercise. Items use target language only and inductive, rather than explicit grammar rules. For example, read each sentence. Fill in the blank in the correct word. Choose your answers from the words in the box. The word in the box be chain, prophet, current, barrel, flats, and beer. First one. Use the blank to carry those things outside of the yard. Barrel. Second, I am shivering. The weather is blank coat. Pinching. How much blank did you get from selling school supplies? What is selling? Profit. 4. When will the blank be ready for picking? Yes. 5. Blank are ready for planting. Current. The dry season made the land blank and brown. I read this in the garden. Okay. Beer. Okay.
What are the 7 strategies we've tackled? Okay, first, question and answer exercise. Second, reading aloud. Third, dictation. Fourth, student self-correct. Fifth, paragraph writing. Sixth, conversation practice. And last, fill in the blank exercise. Okay, very good, class.
Let me call on to Teacher Joy to continue.
Now, I have a question for you. Why is it important to know the direct method of teaching language? Anyone from the class? Oh, do not answer in chorus. Answer it orally. Okay, Dream Race, can you stand up? Okay, very good. It is important to know the direct method of teaching language because it helps the learners to have a good fluency and in the teaching process effectively. To measure your understanding about the topic on the direct method of teaching language, I have prepared here an essay questions for you to answer, and each question corresponds to 10 points each. I will only give you 10 minutes to answer the following questions, and I only read a question once, so here it is. The first question is, what is your personal definition of direct method? The second question, based on the mentioned principles, cite one principle which do you think that evokes your interest in the teaching process and explain. And the last question is, how important is direct method in teaching language? And your time starts now. Time is up. You may now pass your papers in front. That's all for today, class. I hope you learned something from the discussion today. Let's call it a day. Goodbye and thank you, class.
Bitches change, yeah, I like I ain't always. Getting money, nigga, that my man.